Hello from Ushuaia, or Ushuaia, Argentina, the end of the world. And while we're here, I'm going to explain how I was able to afford to quit my job and travel full time. I can't. All right, first things first. I spent the last few years working as a park ranger for the federal government. I was a GS9, so if you want to Google that, you can see how much money I made every year. It was not a significant amount. When we were in Lake Tahoe, somebody told us that they thought we were trust fund babies. Growing up, we were like middle class, lower middle class. Both my parents worked. We had what we needed and nothing more. Did not grow up rich. I don't have a rich uncle somewhere. I have not inherited a fortune from my grandparents. Before I was a ranger for the government, I was a mechanic, and I worked at a dollar store, and I was in the military. None of these things made me independently wealthy. Wow. The trick is to not have any debt or any bills. Make more money than you spend. That way you can save it if you're traveling to places like this. So what, about 2 years, maybe a little more than 2 years ago, was when I kind of like wrote everything down and decided that I wanted to go travel, and working was stupid. I didn't want to do it anymore. I use journals for pretty much everything, but I basically write down, I wrote down in my journal what was my priorities, and then I decided to spend my time and money focusing on those priorities, and one of them was traveling. Where is it? Hey, look, a lighthouse. How were you able to quit your job and travel?
Absolutely no expenses.
You have to say it louder.
No expenses at all.
Zero expenses.
No expenses. No children, no house, no car. Save all my money.
Yeah, so basically just become homeless and unemployed, and you can also travel. My expenses include a storage unit. I got the cheapest one I could. I do have a timeshare, so I make payments on that. My cell phone, yeah, I think that's absolutely all I pay for. Not having a house and a car definitely helps. Okay, so once you get your notebook, I need you to basically just make a budget. I've never done it, but everything that you make and everything that you spent every month, I did an average of like 3 months. And then you can really see what kind of bullshit you're spending your money on and compare that to your priorities. So if traveling is one of your priorities, treat it like a priority. And you're not gonna have, extra money, and you can't just say someday. But you gotta write down a plan and you gotta do it. Basically, just stop buying things. You don't need that knickknack. You don't need all that all those little things that they sell like at the checkout line, like $5 here and there. You don't need that. Okay, so I didn't really like go traveling full time. We'll say, like, the money's gonna run out. I saved a bunch, as much as I thought I need, I guess. I'm traveling pretty cheap, and here in, I don't know, a month or so, I'll probably have to get a job. You do the same face, but I can't see your face. And to date, I think I make like $7 a month, maybe, on YouTube. I haven't actually gotten any paid payments yet, since I just now went over the 1,000 subscribers. So I'm not YouTube rich. Okay, if you have children, my video might not be for you. I don't have kids, so I can't really give advice on how to travel or save money or anything really that has to do with kids. So sorry, you're on your own. And quitting your job and traveling for a few months does not have to be that expensive, really. I left and had saved about, I don't know, $8,000 or $10,000. That's how much I set aside for this trip. And then set, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000 into other accounts to where when I do have to come back and get a job and work again, then I can pay first and last month's rent on an apartment, or buy groceries for the first 2 weeks after I get a job before I get paid. So you don't have to have a shit ton of money to do this. I sold my car for about $4,500. So all of that went into my travel fund. Am I gonna have to buy another car later? Maybe. Whatever. I'll deal with that later. Alright, as much as I really enjoyed being a park ranger, I don't want to go back to that, and I don't want to go back to the government. So, in turn, I know I'm like sacrificing progress towards retirement. Life is not always just about retirement. I kind of want to live my life now. If I have to deal with that later, I'll deal with it later. Hopefully, by the time I am too old to work anymore and need to retire, I can move somewhere like Argentina or Panama and live in a tiny little house with a lot of dogs, and I won't need a lot of money. Alright, so basically, if there's something you want to do, whether it's travel the world or buy a house, I don't know, go to college, whatever. Basically, all I'm getting at is find out what you want to do, write it down, find out all of the steps and things that are required to make it happen, write those down, and then kind of break it down into smaller sections. That way it's more manageable, and you can hold yourself accountable and actually complete all of these steps. Come up with a plan, come up with a goal, and you have to make it happen. It's not just going to magically appear one day. You can't say, someday I wish I could do that. That's not specific enough, and you're never going to actually make that happen. So just one step at a time. Maybe it'll take you 2 years like it did me. but it's gonna happen. Oh, it's gonna be windy now. My quitting my job and starting over and going traveling is not permanent, and it is, well, it was indefinite. So soon I will get a job, and a different job. It's indefinite until the money runs out, but I knew it wouldn't just be permanently quitting my job.